Good morning, folks. It's Ned and Steve, and we're on our way to Columba, Columba and Santa Rosa. We're going to be doing we're actually looking for tile. We're on a tile adventure, and they have a sale at CW in Santa Rosa, and we're going to try to get that 10% off over there. So we're heading on out, and thought you might want to share the ride with us. So let's go. This will also give you folks an idea of what the traffic is from Lipa City to Santa Rosa. So you get an idea of what we drive on every day, and what you can expect if you plan to move out to the Philippines, or at least if you want to come to the Batangas area.
We're going to meet Dave there.
And we're supposed to hook up with our builder too, as well. So we should see his builder and his wife down there, if all goes right. We're actually going to use the back gate out of our subdivision because it cuts off a lot of the traffic on Monday morning, because it is Monday morning and there is a lot of traffic. It's probably I think Monday's the heaviest day of the week, followed by Friday. Best day of the week is Thursday for traffic out here, in my opinion.
How much do you pay for the second gate?
The second gate's included in the $500 peso fee.
$100 for her pesos.
500 pesos. Well, I say 500 pesos. You're right. It's 500, pesos.
Not dollar.
Yeah. A little over $10, more like $10.50 US per year, which is high for a little sticker, because you already pay HOA fees here, and now you're paying for a sticker to get you in and out of the track for every vehicle that you have. So it's just another way for them to procure that dollar. But everybody has to pay. Doesn't matter your nationality. Unless you're hooked up. Actually, no traffic on the street. For a change. Usually these guys park their trikes and jeepneys all along one side of the road, and it turns into quite a bit of a cluster. Well, you do have a problem here making that turn. Easy today.
Philippine. We did the shortcut. There's not allowed to shortcut. Oh. Why do you do that?
Why do I do that? Because they do that. If you don't drive like a Filipino, you don't get anywhere. If you're not willing to break the rules and do stuff that goes on, you'll be in traffic forever.
Oh.
But Filipinos don't break the rules. That's what's funny.
Yeah, I can't believe your wife said that.
We had a viewer write in saying, "Oh, I can't believe your wife, as a Filipino, would say that they break the rules." They break the rules. If I stood out here with a camera, literally for an hour, I could show you 50 violations of the law, especially in the heavy traffic areas when people go crazy. It would just amaze you. They take no prisoners here when it comes to breaking rules, because there are no rules. They drive on the wrong side of the street. They cut lanes that don't have. They park anywhere they want to park. It's just crazy. I'm still amazed that there are not more accidents involved in traffic the way these drive. Now on the freeways, when we get on the highway, freeway, the selects, you'll see quite a bit of difference. But in town, and half these guys don't have, I wouldn't say half, but I'd say a good portion of them don't have a valid driver's license. Even the delivery guys who deliver for Lazada, because they can't, we get a call from the front gate saying, "We can't come in, sir." And I'm going to say, "Well, why not?" Guy came in the other day. I ordered 2 full boxes of those Cat 6 cables, 305 millimeter, 1,000 feet. And the guy had them 2 shrink wrapped together, so they're probably 50, 60 pounds. They're heavy, and I don't feel like dragging them 300 or 400 yards. When I walked up, the guy says, "Hey, can you pick your package?" I thought it was a small package. He failed to tell me that, "Hey, I've got 2 huge boxes of Cat 6 here for you." And I said, "Why can't you come in?" He says, "Sir, I don't have a driver's license for identification, because they won't let you come into a subdivision without ID." because you have to drop the ID off. They have to log you in, and then they return it to you when you leave. But if you don't have a driver's license, you can't give them ID. So that tells me that companies, delivery companies, like that are subcontracting out to Lazada, are using drivers that don't have driver's license. Oh my God, I said something bad again, but you know, that's just the way it is out here. People just turn their head and act like they don't see it, but not acceptable. Pissed me off. I had to go back and get my car, throw the stuff in the cab. If he'd just told me that in the first place, I could have drove my car out there. It wasn't that big of a deal, but it was a point that I made a trip out there. Then I have to go back. And then a lot of times my wife takes her trike from the gym. They won't take her in. Even if it's raining, they won't take her in because they don't have the proper ID. So these guys are charging, and it's got a business. They have a business that they're running, and they're supposed to be licensed in order to be taking passengers. Yeah, another violation of the law out here, but we've reached that time in our bill, folks, that everybody just looks the other way. We got to go out and hunt for tile. We got to hunt for. We do have checkpoints though. Complete water closets. You can see today it rained this morning. Toilets, but sink basins. It rained this morning, but hardware that goes with it. Actually, a very, very beautiful day today. We have to look at like I said, kilometers right now. It's the tiles for a car. The shower areas got a little breeze pushing the car back and forth. They have the sale going on here for 3 days. And you don't see a lot of sales in the Philippines, so you got to jump on these. This is not the sales of good quality items. It's nice to see this open road because your old house. You got a cloudy sky, but it's a beautiful day. They don't do much carpet here at all. Matter of fact, heading, I've never seen a carpet north toward Manila. Not saying they don't have them, but I have never personally seen one. Yeah, you're in the side of the road there. They throw rugs on top of the tiles if they're going to go with rugs. But here in the Philippines, full carpeting. I know I've seen them in the stores. You got to go. The custom shops that have that. One thing I say in the Philippines they don't have. There's a couple things I always complain about, but I have never seen. They never have. Actually, there's three big complaints. They never have public restrooms that you can use, unless very seldom. But they have them in the big malls. But a lot of times, the majority of those are closed. But if you're around town or just in front of the little sorry shops and all that stuff, it's a no-go. Second one is no trash cans. Even in the malls, you don't see trash cans. So you want to know why people throw their trash everywhere? Because nobody bothers to put trash cans out. And the third thing is when you're sitting down to eat, you never get any napkins. They give you these, and I'm not lying, 3 by 3 square inches of tissue, not paper towels, and they'll give you one each. If there's 2 of you, they'll give one person another one, and you have to come back and ask, hey, can I have some more napkins, please? You know, and they always oblige you, but you got to make that extra effort. They just don't believe it. I don't know, paper's expensive here in the Philippines, but not like at home where they have stacks that have been laying around. Anytime you want extra napkins, you know, you don't even have to ask. You just go grab what you want. Different culture, different company. Come over here and never even buy a car. They'll use the local transportation, and some will just pop for just a motorcycle or a scooter, and they're good to go. Or if they need a truck or whatever it is, they just rent one out. Again, it all revolves around your lifestyle, what you plan on doing. If you plan on having a business out here, or you plan on, doing a lot of if you're planning on doing a lot of do-it-yourself stuff, and you need to move things, materials and stuff, then you might want to look at a truck. But it's up to you. If you're hauling a lot of people around, you're going to need a car, probably an SUV. So it's no different in the States. You just got to look at your needs. But in the States, it's a car culture where you got to have a car to get around. I mean, they just don't have bus lines, at least around the areas I grew up in. They don't. Well, downtown, and when I was a kid in East Los Angeles, you know, I mean, they had buses running that way. But when I moved out here into the Southern Cal, they didn't have bus lines were rare. You couldn't get from point A to point B, you know, unless you rode a bicycle. But Philippines, cycling is not a pleasure sport; it's a necessary sport. You see a lot of guys in town riding bike. A lot of cyclists. And they cycle because they have to. They have to get around. And it's just a matter of cost. I mean, not everybody out here. Seems to be there's a lot of rich Filipinos, and I mean by American standards here in Lipa, that have 2 and 3 cars, nice cars, beautiful cars, BMWs, high-end. And we got a shop for SUVs, everything that Land Cruisers. You put into a house, man. It's just stuff that it's just such a different experience for us because we're used to a working class family. The house we bought usually have own and be able to
either
afford.
like our old house had all the appliances in it,
or
we had our own
appliances
drop.
There's from previous homes that we've moved out of. There's either like when I moved from California to Arizona, rich class or low-end rich class appliances there. We didn't need to because the poor class, you know,
the house was negotiated with
brand new
middle
appliances.
But
Really
prior before that, when I
small,
lived, at least in my
from
opinion,
Ontario to
what I see,
Corona, I had all my refrigerators,
like I said,
my
getting back
washing
to
machines,
the
and
public
stuff.
transportation.
Out
You can
here,
do that.
You have to start. I mean,
You
we didn't
can catch
import any of that stuff. You could have brought it and shipped it over
catch
to
a bus. I
container.
catch a bus in Manila.
That in itself,
once you get into Manila, you got that.
So you have to weigh the rail, or you can catch a bus line
pros
to
and
the
cons
rail
on
line,
whether
and
or
take
not
that into Manila.
You want to ship your
Or
furniture.
just, if you're here locally, you can
over.
take the jeepney, or you can take a trike.
And some people, I've actually met people that have shipped their cars.
You can actually walk. I've walked majority of the places because their furniture and everything
close
over
to
in
me.
containers.
By the time I take the car out,
but the majority of the
pull it
experts
out
will tell you
behind
it's
the
not
gate,
worth
open the
it.
gate up,
Driving around, get stuck in traffic outside
because what you pay in the
then finding
VAT
a
or
parking
VAT
spot
tax
that's
they
safe to
call it
put your car in
is pretty high.
Man, that's
you
another
try to
that in itself is another complete
try to
task.
avoid those costs whenever
Sometimes
possible.
it's just easier just to either walk or take a
But
trike.
it's whatever is important to you.
Simplifies your whole.
Some of the things you just can't get out here,
You're
so
in
you
and out.
just have to
quickly
factor that in.
These trike drivers can go places.
I wish I would have
guys
been able
in
to
cars
bring my
couldn't
cars
even-
over.
Couldn't even dream.
Both of them were paid for.
And sometimes I wonder if it would have been better just
You
to
can
pay
see
for
today,
getting 2 older used cars that were in good shape,
light,
instead of buying a
we're
buying a
coming
car
up
out
on
here. One of the tolls right now. That's something that everybody's got to look at and
They
make
call
that
them
car for
RFIDs
themselves. So
here.
guys, and you can either pay cash or you can just take your you can pay cash, or you can just pay in advance into your add money onto your toll account, and boom, you go through. They're getting away from the cash because it takes so much longer time, so they're really pushing here. Just well, folks, we've just gotten off the exit for Santa Rosa. Had our nice little drive on the highway. No traffic. Makes it really, really a pleasure to drive out here where there's no traffic. Because the Philippines can be brutal, even worse than downtown LA for traffic. I've seen traffic jams here that I've never seen anyplace else, especially when you get into like Manila. Crazy. Folks here like to get an early start on the on the lights there. A lot of times the local traffic cops who do the who actually move traffic through hand signal and stuff will wave you on ahead of time. But even when it's not when there's no official there directing traffic, you'll see people just jump off whenever it's clear. And horns are quite are a form of communication out here. It's not like back home where if you were to hit in the horn, especially in a loud, aggressive manner, it would be considered extremely rude and provoke an unwanted response in the United States. But here, it's kind of like considered part of the culture here to use your horn. Another thing it takes a little bit of getting used to. People will use that horn to let them know that they're next to you, and then they'll flash their brights, letting you know that some people. Well, I haven't figured that one out yet, because when you use the brights, that usually tells you in the States that you get your brights on. But here, they'll bright you to tell you that they're actually going to turn in and stop, so they can make their left-hand turn, or use the bright saying stop, don't turn into me. So I'm still trying to figure out what separates those two. It's kind of like a chaotic chorus act that you learn to drive with, the way it's choreographed. Nice polite driver using his signals, which is the exception, not the norm here. Good to see it. There's our destination on the left-hand side. You can always tell here because you're at the Sogo, right next to the Sogo Short Time Hotel. And we're here, folks. We'll see you inside. can't go any further because this truck here is really slowing traffic down. And people on the right are driving just about as slow as the truck, so it really doesn't do you any good. Here, and we're down here at Santa Rosa, and we're actually hitting some of the items we're looking at. They got a 10% sale here on some of the tubs here. You have to excuse my voice here because I'm wearing a mask inside. It's protocol here. You can see some of the different prices, some of the different items. Let me show you some of the things that we're looking at here. And if you get the package, it includes the sink basin, what they call the water closet. We call it toilet. And like I said, it comes with this, and then it comes with your hardware for your faucet here. You can have either the choice of this type of sink basin, or you can have that. Obviously these are going to go on top of the counter, so we've chosen this style up above. Let's head on over to the tile and I'll show you some of the picks that we encountered today. We're considering picking up for the house. CW is a big place here, but the big thing here is being able to get that discount. They got a 10% off at everything in the store today, which out here in the Philippines is not that common. One of the tiles that we were looking at choosing was this color here for our downstairs. And you can see all the different 60 by 60 different styles. A lot of people like the shiny gloss. I love the shiny gloss, but unfortunately with the shiny gloss, every little piece of dirt, every water spot shows on it. Man, like I said, I absolutely love the colors, and that's very big out here. But like I said, that we can take a look at these also. Shiny colors. Here's the color that see what we can come up I really liked. I can share some of the stuff. That was one of them. Probably my favorite was this design here, and all the styles are random in the boxes. And you can see the price on this one. But it's polished. It's double polished. And unfortunately, when you get into it, they show, like I said before, they show all the dirt and every bit of water that you have, so you got to be real careful. Areas like outside lanais you have to be careful of because they're wet all the time, and if you're not paying attention, you'll slip and you'll fall on your rear. These tiles here were a choice of mine, but I really like the wood design. And these had a really good price of what I thought. I got bumped out for, my wife outvoted me on the tiles. So we're gonna go with I think we're gonna go with this color here. It's tile material, but it's a wood design, and it's a lighter one. And our house is kind of dark in the first place, so that's the reason why we're leaning toward a lighter color tile to bring more light into the house. Now if I had a lot of light, like for example my neighbor across the street, that would definitely be I would definitely go with a dark color. I actually even favor some of the dark colors, or even the black, the mixtures. They really look sharp with the right accenting. But these are all 77s. You can see some of the prices, they range. We're buying most of the tile here is from China, Vietnam, or Malaysian, or you do get some of the Italy tile, and that tile tends to be very, very expensive. The Malaysian or the Italy tile, that's running up to $600, sometimes $700 pesos per piece. Tile ranges we're looking at is somewhere. There's another nice looking here. It's got doesn't have that polished look to it. And we got a big area too, so That's important. You can see the different here, the Spanish tiles and Argentina tiles, and these are pretty reasonable, but these are actually tiles that are set up for, you can use them on the floor, and some people do, but a lot of people use them on the walls to accent their bathrooms, which is really, really cool. They have the colors set up here to kind of give you an example of what they're like. And then you have your old school traditional stuff here. Like I said, they've got styles for everything that you want to do. But I really liked the look of the wood planking in the tile format. So I'm hoping that's going to work out for us, especially up on that second floor, to kind of soften that look and give it a homey feel. We've got tons and tons of tile. And this is just one place. There's Wilcon across the street, and they're like another Home Depot here. And you can see the prices, some of the tiles. These are the 60/60, which a lot of people go to now. And for me, I like the 60x120s. But you gotta have the space for those. Like here's a 60x120. If you got a big enough area to lay those in, I mean, those are great for just straight areas that blow and go. And like this piece is here for big room areas, and it makes it fast. But here's a prime example of what I was talking about, the darker colors. I mean, this is wild. A little bit over my taste, but some of the stuff like right here, this gray and the black, pretty awesome. Like I said, and you can see the price, what they're getting on those, and they have continued, their whole warehouse is just filled with tile, and until next week they're running this sale for like I think it's still Sunday. Beautiful tile here. This is some of the choices that I liked. Polished, but I'm staying away from the polish because of the reasons stated before. It's too bad because I love it, and if you're not using it a lot, I mean, it's fine, but if you're using it, you're gonna have a hard time, especially if you got a new house with a high traffic area like we do, and especially with landscaping not being completed. You can be dragging dirt in every chance you get. So it's pretty amazing what they have to offer. And actually, tile prices are pretty reasonable if you do your shopping around. Do your homework. It takes a while. You got to get out. It's not something you're going to do overnight.